Greetings and welcome, everyone. We're back after coming from an extraordinary expression of roundtable discussion here at GatherVerse, your Fired Summit 2024. We have a special guest with us today, Mr. Jared Arms, who comes to us from the great state of Missouri and St. Louis, who has joined us before, is doing truly special work, and we're happy to have you with us again, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you, Chris?
Very good, sir. Thank you for being able to join us and be able to once again afforded the time to be able to spend with us in this AI era that we find ourselves in and work in the business, into the spirit, if you will, of this discussion, this topic. We want to talk about the youth for tomorrow's world, what this looks like. And as somebody that's been such an advocate in an extraordinary way of working and being able to deal with the youth communities, not only in this country, but with the world, if you will, and setting a standard and example for ways that we could spend our time to be able to help safeguard our innovations when it comes to our youth. What does this mean in this AI era where we're facing extraordinary prospective layoffs, and layoffs have already begun to happen, but at the same time with great opportunity? What are you seeing in your world of work that you're engaged in presently, Jared?
Great question. Great question. So to be honest, I am seeing a lot of people being feeling startled about the AI. I'm not hearing anyone yet personally losing a job due to this, but I've been preparing for this quite some time. The bank teller from the bank teller to the ATM migration. So what we're trying to do best as possible is just to increase the awareness about this, to let people know that they can jump on board, learn new skills, take advantage of new opportunities, and new industries to come about within this AI space. But that's on the positive side. I guess more so like as an educator, I'm all about, okay, you can do it, you can learn it. If they can create it, we can too. But from I guess some of the negative aspects of it too, especially when we're talking about underserved communities, single parent households, and then just a lot of different, I guess, stimulations that could probably prevent people from like succeeding faster than others. Retail jobs, just a lot of data entry, food manufacturing type of jobs and things like that. I've been watching some videos just through, online, these humanoids inside of Amazon doing work and things like that. People being distracted, watching them while the humanoid isn't wasting time, looking at the humans working things like that. And I'm like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, you all better quit wasting time and keep loading those trucks up, because just that little split divide right there is important. And at the same time, I'm always thinking about, like, maybe we shouldn't create this future where we just buried on these computers, sitting on these desks every day. Maybe we can use some of this AI from all different type of angles to help us out with daily tasks, so we can enjoy like the more fruitful things in life, traveling, spending time with our friends and family and things like that, based off people hobbies. But I'm sure that's important to all of us. So personally, and then the group of people I'm connecting with, we've been enjoying it. But at the same time, even though I don't know anyone personally who lost their job to it. I made quite some cuts from my development team, using AI as far as my marketing team when it comes to content creation, and everything is all positive. But even for myself personally, it's like, why waste time doing this if I could just set the AI to help us out? So that's a broad answer, but
Sure.
I do think it can turn for the worse if we don't try to control it and have like a good narrative to it.
Sure. Here's one of my concerns, and let's talk about this. Walk with me for a moment, will you? Will you, Jared?
Yes, sir.
The thing is we have the Elon Musk of the world, who is extraordinary innovator. Say what you will about his politics, extraordinary innovator. He's made recent statements about that there will be a time within the next 24 to 36 months where perhaps all of civilization, or much of civilization, will not have to work again, and that the AI and the robotic armies, if you will, of the world will almost dramatically and completely take over, and that you can work a job if you want, if just for your pleasure, with the considerations of universal high income, as Mr. Musk says. But I think we need to get back to reality here, because the media spin is once again distributing a record that no longer exists in reality. And the reality is we have child labor that's happening in this world. we have human labor and slave labor that's happening in this world, in this country of the United States and elsewhere in the world. And that is true. And so it seems to me that even with the deployment of artificial intelligence, whether in robotic form, Android mech form, whether you're looking at desktop, laptop, tablet, mobile device, whatever device or hardware that it'll be deployed in, it seems to me that you'll still have people that will choose, and those that want to hire humans, if you will, to be able to do an honest day's work with honest day labor. But you'll still have those that will still use humans, good and in a bad way, when it comes to the work of the world. And so the idea that we're heading into this utopian society and global opportunity, if you will, is at best a high delusion of grandeur, and substantially misguiding and misleading for the reality of what we're headed in. And I believe that it's more closer to the grapes of wrath than the grapes of utopia.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely don't think there's any substitute for hard work. What it seems to me, and I'm just speaking from a positive standpoint, is if it'll help us save time and probably have like more precise decisions when we're talking about logic and reason. But like you said, for the bad, it can turn completely different. But yeah, some of the things that he talk about, even getting people to Mars in a short amount of time, is like, it's not logical. It's a lot of stuff that
Why do you think so? I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, the magnitude of what we're facing here, what we look at, the level of disruption that we're thinking about, and with consideration, what did the world think when we were innovating and adopting and subscribing and developing and making and hacking and building and coding and designing? What did the world think that would happen when it comes to this type of level of disruption that's perpetrated on humankind, when it comes to the mass amount of emerging technologies that are starting to bud and fruition and to be able to bind, pair together? And here's the deal. This isn't business as usual. We're not going back to the way that it was pre-pandemic. Those days are 100% officially done. And it seems to me that we must take advantage of the given skills that we have and the work that we have been doing with our communities to not safeguard and make sure that we can assure success today, because in a lot of ways, the efforts of what we can do when it comes for our youth, the impact of what we want to be able to develop now for human betterment, we may not be the recipients of that. But the seeds that we plant today in the farmer's field may grow substantial fruit to benefit for the generations to come.
I totally agree. And I'm really more like, it's, man, I know we got a short amount of time, but it's so many things that's in my head in different projects, but like trying to focus on something that's like for humanity and like planetary based projects, I think would be a great thing, because maybe I'm talking a little too futuristic, but this is the GatherVerse. I know people will be coming back throughout history, hundreds and hopefully thousands of years, to watch this, to be able to move forward. But I do think huge things as far as AI, like on a scary way, those coming together to try to, decrypt nuclear weapons. That can be something quite scary, creating a plan where terrorists can hurt more children at these different underserved schools, possibly using AI to search for schools that have like local operators more distant, maybe some without cameras. There's a lot of stuff on the scary side that can play a role in it. But we haven't even really started, like we not even like in the floppy disk stage yet when it comes to AI and intellect and stuff. So it's gonna get more advanced and more smarter, to say the least. So for the people who, I guess, looking at this now, it's like we haven't even touched like the floppy disk stage yet, meaning that we're like super early in it. We haven't got to the big, huge cell phone stage yet, and it costs hundreds of billions of dollars to like create these type of infrastructure. So I do think it's a great thing that people can learn how to use it and learn the skills and maybe try to do something to take advantage of this wave, because a lot of our customers and things like that are asking us, hey, can we use AI to create this app a little bit faster, versus, the traditional people like, we can use, say, ChatGPT to code this, versus, say, paying Jared or the engineers company. What would be the point? So it hasn't got like strictly black and white, but it is starting to hit that medium to where it's like, well, before we learn how to do it ourselves, we do know that you can use AI to like write it faster, maybe it may be cheaper for us. And I like that. I like how customers are informing themselves, and when they're working with these businesses, it could probably help them save time and money. But like on a more broader scale, um, I do have concerns with AI, understanding stuff where it could like reverse DNA structures, create different chromosomes for different atom matters that should not be. My waking up and just my dog looking like a sea fish or something like that. I know I'm kind of speaking a little silly, but with these AI systems being integrated with these hyper multi-dimensional mathematic framework systems, some of these things I'm talking about is like, all right, they starting to move like on like, trying to keep it short and stuff like that. But if I can interject real quick, we have integrated and we are working on the we call it the HM2F hyper multi-dimensional mathematic framework, and basically a framework that can use multi-dimensional math to run certain applications. So let's say if a person wants to run a script on the process of H2O molecules, or just a lot of different things that when you equal in these different points, they create a nexus more so than a quantitative state. So trying to create like a math system and integrating that with the platform so these different type of advanced apps can run. It's a challenge, but just in a bigger picture, hopefully being able to find cures to cancer faster. Some of these kids that's missing, being able to find them faster when it comes to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just these events taking place across the world, from tsunamis, hurricanes, just different like, horrific situations where they could probably help. I know they do have things already, but taking it to like a much further thing, trying to prevent stuff as well. I'm trying to gumbo a lot in real quick.
No. But it's good. It's preventative tech. With the few minutes that we have left, Jared, I have to ask, because I know that you've been working with the youth and creating safeguards for innovations. Share with us some of the things that you've been working on when it comes to safeguard tech of innovations for our young people and people, whether it's dealing with human trafficking or what have you.
Great question. 3 of them just off the rip. We just integrated AES, a real secure encryption protocol within our save feature. So when students are using the Collar Coin app to save photos, which we usually have them do things within our workshop, basically we just encrypted it. So like if a hacker or a different app developer was to send some malicious software to their phone and try to hack like the local database, everything is encrypted in real time, and we're using that connected with like Ethereum. So just on the security side, that's one like important thing. When people uploading content to our platform for like traditional encryption is cool, but having like these decentralized encryptor and decryptor that can only be, I guess, authenticated with the cryptocurrency, with the student's wallet. So that's like one huge thing. A second thing is, of course, we're working with law enforcement. So we started off about, I would say almost 8 years ago now, working with like St. Louis City, St. Louis County Police Department, to try to collaborate with them and humanize the community by initially launching these nonviolent video game development tournaments. We started off working with Microsoft. They donated or allowed us to use their Microsoft store in the Galleria for about 4 to 6 hours. We had 20 officers come out, different universities, and we were just like playing video games with the kids, and at the core trying to prevent like another 2014 situation with Mike Brown. So that's one huge part. Since then, we've been creating relationships with the FBI, specifically the Community Outreach Department in Phoenix, Arizona. So we'll be doing more things with them next year, as well as 2026, expanding our awareness for missing children within America and the world, but more so like out here in Phoenix. And then lastly, we launched this decoy program last month where we work, myself and others basically come together, do these hackathons for about 3 days at a time, where we work online, posing as minor decoys, trying to entrap and expose online adult sex predators, basically. And just to say the least, we've been able to not capture as far as getting them locked up, but as far as getting their photos. Unfortunately, these people have sent some very threatening messages, very illegal, explicit content. So we've been able to the database, he was just been at least 100 a day. And it's quite, and opposing as 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and then you got at the average at least age 30 and up, and they saying stuff like, are you home alone? We want to come home. We want to do the R word to you. And with us being able to create these honeypots, send this information to hopefully the right law enforcement and create this database, even though everyone isn't getting incarcerated at the moment, we've still been able to distract a lot of people online from connecting with these children. And I can go on and on and on, but adding encryption to the content that the kids upload to make sure that other people can't see what they're uploading, especially say like if a mom or a dad is uploading a picture of their baby like in the tub just for friends and family. So you want that to be all pictures to be encrypted, but specifically those. Working with law enforcement and then joining forces with the FBI Community Outreach Center, and then these minor decoy hackathons that we're doing, but it's way more than that. But yeah, it's a lot that we're trying to do to help them stay safe.
And this is the reason, Jared, with all that you do, and this is the reason why we wanted you here with us today, is because we want the world to know that there are people that are developing and innovating with the betterment for people in mind and our young generation, because who is protecting and who are defending our youth, who are defending our young people from these tools that are so used by these heinous predators in this world that are doing the things that they're doing. And yes, I know that this is the GatherVerse You're Fired Layoff Summit. But if you do find yourself in a situation, GatherVerse, where you are laid off and you possess skills, consider using your time to work with people like Jared, or to establish your own foundation, or to volunteer at the different companies and platforms that are working to help protect, educate, and safeguard not only ourselves, but our young people and our youth. Jared, our gather was well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is our last roundtable discussion for the You're Fired Summit. As quick as it